This is Hakim. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to build this plant shop UI using React Native, so stay tuned. So this is what I'm going to build in this video. Let me walk you guys through the app. So over here we have this text of welcome to plant shop, and right here we have this cart over here. So below it we have this search icon with this sort button which actually does nothing, and we have the list of categories, and once I click on it, it's going to select the categories, which actually has no effect on this card right now. And right here we have a card showing the image of the plant, a favorite icon that shows if the plant is liked or not, and below the plant image we have the plant name, price of the plant, and add to cart button, which actually does nothing. And once I click on it, it's going to take us on that screen with this header that has this back button, and if I click on the back button, it's going to take us to the previous screen. And right here we have this cart icon, and over here we have the image of the plant. So right here we have a text showing best choice, the name of the plant, the price tag, and about us text, and below the about us text we have the details of the plant. And below the details we have this a minus and a plus button, which in between of this button we have total number of the plants added to the cart. And over here we have this buy button. And that's all for the preview. So I'm making the project file available for you guys to download, so I'm putting the link in the description down below. And if you like this kind of video, please like and share, and also if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, turn on post notifications so that I notify anytime I upload a new video. And after I do, let's start coding. Okay guys, so welcome back. So I already created a project, and also I've got rid of the boilerplate that React Native generate for us, and also I've structured the project. So let me walk you guys through the structure of the project. So over here I created a folder called src, which is an asset folder. This folder holds the plant image of the app, and also I created a folder called const that holds a colors.js. This is the file that holds the color of the app, a white color, dark color, red color, light color, and a green color. Then I export the object, and I created another file called plants.js. This is just a list of the plants, so it's just an array with an object for each plant. Each object contains an ID, name of plant, price, like, and an image, and also some information about the plant. So I created another folder called views, which inside the folder I created a folder called screens, which is holding the screens of the app. So the app has two screens, the home screen, which I've created the component, and a test of home screen, which is showing the screen right here. And I created another component called detail screen with a test of detail screen over here. So inside the app.js, I got rid of all the code, and I've installed the React navigation for navigation, and also I've installed the vector icon. So inside the return method, I added the navigation container, a status bar component for the status bar. So I gave the status bar a color of white, which is actually showing here, and also a bar style of dark content so that the items in the status bar should be able to show up. And right here we created the stack for each screen, the home screen and the details screen. So that's all for the structure of the project. Let's start coding the UI. So I'm going to open the home screen, so start working on the home screen. Let me bring up the UI. So over here we have the welcome to plant shop, and we have this cart icon over here. So this is going to be in a view with a style of header. So let me open the app. I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to replace it with a safe area component. I'm going to style the component. We are going to give it a flex of 1. We give it a padding horizontal of 20 pixels and a background color of white. So we are going to get the color from the colors object. Then inside the safe area widget, we are going to add a view for the header. So add a view, and we are going to give it a style of header. So say style.header, and below the component we are going to create a style. So say const style equals to style sheets dot create, and we are going to add the header style. But before we start styling it, we are going to import the style sheet. So say style sheet, and right now I'm going to start styling the header. So we are going to give it a margin top of 20 pixels, Then we give it a flex direction of row, and we are going to give it a justify content of space between. So right now we're going to start adding the elements inside the header, that is the text and this icon over here. So inside the header we are going to add a view. This view is going to hold the both text, that is welcome to and the plant shop text. So we are going to add the text component, and inside the text component we are going to add the text of welcome to. Then below it we are going to add another text of plant shop. Then right now we are going to style the individual text. So first style the welcome to text. So I'm going to add a style. I'm going to give it a font size of 25 pixels, font weight of bold, and that's all for this text. So right now I'm going to style the plant shop text. So give it a style. We'll give it a font size of 38 pixels, font weight of bold also, and a color of green. We'll say color. We're going to get it from the colors object, and that's all for the text over here. So actually the margin top in the header style should be 30 pixels. So I'm going to change it to 30 pixels. And right now let's take a look at the UI. So the next step, I want to add this cat icon to the header. Outside the view that is holding the both text, we are going to add an icon component. So say icon. And we are going to import the icon component. So import it from vector icons. And inside the icon component, we are going to give it an icon name of shopping cart, I think. We'll say shopping. Then we'll give it a size of 28 pixels. And right now we have the icon, so we are done with the header part. So the next step, we are going to start working on this input. So we are going to add a view that is going to hold the input and the sort button. Below this view, we'll add a view. I'm going to give it a style. So we'll give it a margin top of 30 pixels, and a flex direction of row. So I want to position the item from left to right, and this is the view that is going to hold the search input and the sort button. And in order to create the search input, we are going to make use of a view. The view is going to hold the search icon, and it's going to hold the input itself. So over here we are going to add a view. So say view. Then inside the view we are going to add the icon. I'll give it a name of search. That is for the search icon. Right now we have the search icon. So the next step, we are going to add the text input. So import the text input. I'm going to give it a placeholder of search. And over here, we are going to give the icon a size of 25 pixels. And we are going to give it a margin left of 20 pixels. So say style, margin left of 20 pixels. And now we have the icon and the search input. So over here, we are going to add a style for this view that is holding the icon and the text input. So I'm going to give it a style. We'll say style dot search container. And right now we are going to create a style. So below here we are going to add the search container. We'll give the height of 50 pixels, a background color of light. So get it from the colors object. We are going to give it a border radius of 10 pixels. So say border radius 10 pixels. And let's look at the app. So right now we have the search icon and the search input. So the next step, we are going to give it a flex of 1, so that it's going to take the available space. So say flex, not flex direction, flex. We'll give it 1. Then we'll give it a flex direction of row, so that it's going to position the item from left to right. And now we have the input and the icon. So we are going to align the item center. So we want to center it vertically. So we'll say align items center. And that's all for this style. So the next step, we are going to style the text input itself. So over here, I'm going to add this style. And right now, we are going to create this style. So below here, we add the style of input. That is for the text input. We'll give the font size of 18 pixels. A font weight of bold. So font weight bold. And give it a color of dark. Say colors.dark. Let's save. And also we'll give it a flex of 1. And that's all for the input. So the next step, we are going to work on the sort button. That is this button over here. So I'm going to open the project. I'll bring up the emulator. And outside this search container, we are going to add a view that is going to hold the icon. So we are going to give the view a style of sort btn. So say style dot sort btn, which we are going to create right now. Then inside this view, we are going to add the icon. So add the icon. We are going to give it a name of sort. I'll give it a size of 30 pixels. And right now we have the sort icon, so we are going to style the view right now. So I'm going to add the style. So say sort btn. We are going to give it a margin left of 10 pixels. So want a gap between the search input and the button. So say margin left 10 pixels. We'll give the height of 50 pixels, a width of 50 pixels also. We give it a background color of green. So say colors.green. Let's save and see. So this is what we have right now. So the next step, we are going to center the icon. So to center the icon, give it a justify content of center, align items of center. And right now we center the icon. So the next step, we are going to give it a border radius of 10 pixels. So we're able to have that curve shape. So border radius and give it 10 pixels. And that's all for the style. So right now I'm going to change the icon color to white. So over here we give it a color. We'll say colors.white. And that's all for the input and the sort button. So let's take a look at the UI. Right now we are going to add the list of categories. So to add the list of categories, we are going to create another component. So actually we could make this a standalone component, but I actually want to keep this simple. That's why I'm creating the component in the same file. So before we create the component, we are going to create a list of the categories. So I'll say const, I'll say categories, which is going to be an array of categories. Let me copy and paste the categories over here. So these are the categories. Right now I'm going to create the component. So create a component called category list. So say category list, which is going to return a view. Return. And right now we are going to add the categories component below the inputs. So we'll say categories list. And we are going to start styling the component. So we are going to give it a style of category container. So this view is going to hold the categories. So say style dot category container, and we are going to add the style right now. So below the sort button style, this style is going to have a flex direction of row. So say flex direction row. We'll give it a margin top of 30 pixels, a margin bottom of 20 pixels, and a justify content or space between. And that's all for this style. So let's start adding the categories to it. So inside the view, we are going to iterate through the categories. So over here, we'll say categories dot map. So we are going to map through the categories. Say item for the items, then the index. Then over here, we are going to add a text component, which is going to show the categories. Over here, we are going to show the categories. So just add the items, which is going to show the categories right now. And right now we have the categories: popular, organic, indoor, synthetic. So the next step, we are going to style this text. So actually we are going to add two styles. The first style is going to apply to all the categories, while the second style is going to apply to the category only if it's selected. So over here we are going to add this style. So the first style, in order to add two styles, we are going to add this array. So this array is going to hold the list of styles. So the first style we are going to add is the category style. So the second style is going to be applied only if the condition is true. In our case, if the setting category is selected. So add the first style, and this style is going to be called category text. So say category text. And right now I'm going to create this style. So, and also let's add a key so that React won't yell at us. So say key and give it an index. So here we are going to add a style. So for the style, we are going to give it a font size of 16 pixels, a color of gray, say color gray. We give it a font weight of bold. And that's all for the style. So the next step, we are going to add the second style to it. So right now over here, I'm going to add this style. So the style we are going to create is going to be called category text selected, and this style is going to be applied only if the condition is met. So I will say category. Actually, before we add this condition, we have to add a state. So it's going to help us to keep track of the selected categories. So above here, we are going to add the state. So say const category index. This is for the index, selected index of the category, and why this is going to be called set category index. So say category. So as name implies, this is going to be used to set the category index, which is going to be set to react.useState, and we are going to make the default index 0, which is going to select this popular category. So right now we can actually add the condition. So over here we'll say if category index is equals to the current index, that is this index over here, we are going to apply this style. So say style dot category text selected, and right now we are going to add this style. So we'll go down, and below this style we add this style, and this style we are just going to add a color. So we'll just modify the current color and we'll change it to green. Then we are going to add a padding bottom of 5 pixels, a border bottom width of 2 pixels, and a border color of green also. We'll say colors dot green. Hit save, and right now as you can see we have the popular category selected. That is because the default index is 0, which is this popular categories. So right now we need a way to set the categories once a user click on the category. So to do that, we're going to wrap this text with the touchable opacity component, and once a user click on it, we are going to set the category index to this index over here. So I'm going to add the component, so say touchable opacity. I'm going to get this text component, and I'm going to put it right here. Then inside this component, I'm going to add some props to it. So actually I'm going to take this key, I'll put it here, then we'll add an onPress to it, so say onPress. Then we are going to set the category index to the current index. And right now, once you click on it, it's going to set the category to the current index, which is going to change the style of the selected categories. So if I click on this, as you can see, it has changed the style. If I click on this, it has changed the style. Then also we are going to increase the active opacity of the component. So say active opacity. I'll change it to 0.8. So this is actually going to increase the opacity of this component of the touchable opacity. So as you can see, we've increased the opacity, and that's all for the category list component. So let's take a look at the UI. So right now we're going to add this card that is going to hold the plant image, the name, the price, and this favorite icon. So right now we're going to create the card component, but before we do that, we are going to make use of the flat list component in order to list the plant cards. So below the category list, we'll add the flat list component. Inside the flat list component, we are going to add some prop. So we are going to change the num columns to 2. So once 2 items in each row, so say 2. And also we are going to give it a data of plant. So say data. Then we are going to import the plants. So that is this file holding the various plants. We'll say import plants from the const folder, and we import the plants. So right now we have access to the list of the plants. So the next step, we are going to start creating the component, the card component. So over here, I'm going to create a function which is going to return the component. So we'll say const card, and inside this function we are going to return a view. So this view is going to have a style of card. So we'll say style dot card. So right now we are going to create this style, but before we create this style, let's add the component inside the render props. So we'll say render items and give it the card component, and give it a plant props, which is going to be the item. So we'll say item, I'm passing the item over here, and I'm going to go back to the card component. I'm going to receive the item. So I'll say item, and also make sure we return the view. So return the view, and right now we can start styling the card. So in the card, we are going to give it a height. So let's add the style. We'll give it a height of 225 pixels, 225 pixels, a background color of light. So we'll say colors dot light, and also we are going to add a width. So we are going to create the width right now. So we are going to make use of the dimension to get the actual width of the screen, and also we are going to divide it by 2. So each card is going to take about 50% of the width, and we are going to subtract 30 pixels from the width, so it's going to give us space between the cards. So over here I'm going to add a variable called width. So say const width, which is going to be a dimension. So we'll get a dimension, and we're going to get the screen width. So say screen dot width, then we'll divide it by 2 and subtract it by 30. Then now we are going to go back to the style and continue styling the card. So we are going to give it a margin horizontal of 2 pixels. So say margin horizontal, give 2 pixels, border radius of 10 pixels. We'll give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels. So say margin bottom, and a padding of 15 pixels. So say padding of 15 pixels. And that's all for the card style. So the next step, I want to give each row a style of space between, so there will be a space between these cards. So to do that, we're going to go to the flat list component. I'll give it a colon wrapper style of justify content, and we're going to give it space between, and this should fix it. So we have space between each card. So we are going to get rid of this scroll bar, and to get rid of the scroll bar, we'll say show vertical indicator and we'll set it to false. We have gotten rid of the scroll bar. So the next step, we are going to add some style to the flat list. So we'll say content container style. We'll give margin top of 10 pixels and a padding bottom of 50 pixels. And I think that's all for this flat list component. So let's go back to the card component. So let's take a look at the UI once again. So over here we have this icon. So this icon is going to be inside a view, and below the view we are going to have this image of the plant. Then below the image we have the name of the plant, this price, and the add to cart button. So let's add this icon right now. So I'll open the project, bring up the emulator. Then inside this style, we are going to add a view. So say view. So this view is going to hold the icon. So add the icon, and the icon is going to be favorite. So say favorite. And right now we have the icon, so we'll give it a size of 18 pixels. So say 18. We've just increased the font of the icon. So the next step, we're going to push the icon to the left. So to do that, over here we are going to add a style. So we are going to give it an align items of flex end. So say flex end. So this is going to push the icon to the left. So right now we are going to add a view. So actually this icon should be in a view. So this view is going to be this this round shape, and inside the view we are going to have the icon. So actually it should be a view. So add a view, and I'm going to bring the icon in. So put the icon over here. So for the view we are going to add a style to it, and we are going to give it a width of 30 pixels, height of 30 pixels. So say height 30 pixels. We'll give it a border and radius of 15 pixels. So we're able to get the round shape. We'll give it align items of center, justify content of center. So this is going to center the icon inside the view. So the next step, we are going to add the background color to the view. So actually this background color is going to be added to the view depending on if the icon is liked or not. So if the icon is liked, it's going to be a red background color, and if it's not liked, it's going to be this black background color. So we're making use of RGBA. So why we are making use of RGBA instead of the hash colors is because this the view is going to be transparent, and with RGBA the transparency won't affect the content inside the view. So say background color, and we are going to add the what is it called, the condition. So say if plant dot like, that is if it's true, we will add the red background color with an opacity of 0.2, else we'll add the black color, and let's save and see. So actually we are having an error. So this should be plant, not item. So let me get rid of this and change it to plant. So as you can see, we have the view with the background color of red and some with the background color of black. So right now we are going to also add a condition to this icon. So the color of the icon is going to switch depending if the plant is liked or not. So over here we are going to add the color props. So say color, I'll say plant dot like, not light. So if it's like, we are going to apply the red color. So say colors dot red, as we apply the black color, that's color dot dark. And right now we have the red icon, and also we have the black icon. So that's all for this icon right now. So the next step, we are going to add the image of the plant. So outside the view, that is if you holding the icon, we'll add another view for the image. So we'll say view, and we're going to style the view. So we'll give it a height of 100 pixels and align items of center. And now we are going to add the image. So add the image component, and we are going to give it a source. The source is going to be the image of the plant, that is this image over here. So we are going to add it right now. So say plant dot image, and also we are going to style the component. So say style, we give it a flex of 1 and a resize mode of contain. And that's all for the image. Let's take a look at the app. So right now this is the image. Actually this view should be outside the view that is holding this icon. So we mistakenly put it inside the view that is holding the icon. So I'm going to bring it outside, and this should fix it. So right now we have the image centered. So the next step, we are going to add the name of the app below the image of the app. So below this view that is holding the image, we'll add a text component, and we are going to add the name of the app. So we'll get the name from the plant object. We'll say, and we'll get the name. So we'll say dot name. And right now we have the name. So we are going to start styling the name. So we'll give it a style. We'll give it a font weight of bold, a font size of 17 pixels, and a margin top of 10 pixels. And that's all for the name. So the next step, we are going to add this price and this button over here. So the price and the button is going to be in one view. So we're going to add a view that is going to hold the price and the button. And below the text, we are going to add the view right now. So we'll add the view. Then we are going to style the view before we add the price. So we'll give the flex direction of row, not flex basics, flex direction row. We'll give the justify content of space between. So one space between the price and the add to cart button. So say space between, and we are going to give it a margin top of 5 pixels. So say margin top, I'll give it 5 pixels. So right now we are going to add the price. Inside the view, we are going to add a text component, and we are going to add the price. So add this $sign, and over here we are going to add the price. We'll get it from the plant object, and we'll say dot price. And right now we have the price over here. So we are going to style the price. So we are going to give it a style of font size of 19 pixels and font weight of bold. And that's all for this style. So the next step, we're going to add the add to cart button. So we are going to add a view. Then inside the view, we are going to add a text of +sign. So we'll say view We'll style the view. We'll give the height of 25 pixels, width of 25 pixels also. We'll give the background color of green. So background color, colors.green. Let's save. So this is the button over here. So we are going to add a border radius of 5 pixels. So say border radius, and give 5 pixels. Then we'll give it a justify content of center, align items of center. So we'll be able to center the items both vertical and horizontally. So say justify content, center, align items, center. So save. And right now we have the button. So the next step, I want to add a plus sign. So this plus sign is just going to be a text component. We'll add a plus sign and we are going to style the text component. So we'll give the font size of 22 pixels, color of white. So we'll say colors dot white, and font width of bold. So I hit save. So right now we have the add to cart button done. So the next step, we are going to wrap the component with a touchable opacity component, and we'll add a function. So once we click on it, it's going to take us to the details screen. So right here, I'm going to add a component called touchable opacity. It's a touchable opacity, and I'm going to get this view, that is the card view. I'm going to cut it, then I'll paste it over here. And right now, as you can see, we can click on the card. So it's actually doing nothing right now. So I have to add the unpressed props and also add the function to it. Then we are going to make use of the navigation to navigate to the details page. So over here, I'll say unpress. So inside the unpress, we'll use the navigation. So let's import the navigation. Let's bring in the navigation. So say navigation, and we are going to use it right here. So say navigation dot navigate, and we are going to navigate to the details screen. So inside the app.js, over here where we create our route, so as you can see, we have the details screen with the name of details. So I'm going to copy the name, and we can make use of this name to navigate. So add the name over here, and while navigating, we are going to send the details of each plant to the details screen. So to do that, over here we are going to pass in the plant object. So this is going to take these details right here, and it's going to pass it to the next screen. So we'll be able to get all the details from this object in the other screen. And right now, we are going to save and click on it, and let's see, it's going to take us to the details screen. So actually we are having an error, can't find the variable navigation. I thought we brought the navigation in. Oh, we made a mistake. So we actually added the props inside the category list instead of the home screen component itself. So I'll put it right here. Now click on it. As you can see, it has navigated to the details screen. So right now I'm going to start working on the details screen. So let me bring up the UI. So as you can see, in the details screen, we have the header, the plant image, and we have this section over here that has different color, that has the light color, and this text, the plant name over here, the price of the plant, and about text, and also you have the details of the plant. So let's start building the details UI. So I'm going to open the details.js, and we are going to get rid of this. So we get rid of the view. We will replace it with a safe area view component. Then we are going to bring in the navigation. So let's bring the navigation in. So say navigation, and bring in the route. So this route is an object that holds a params object, which holds the data we sent while navigating to this screen. So right now, in order to get the data, all we have to do, we'll say const, and we are going to call it plant, which is going to be equals to route.params. So this params is holding the details we passed from this home screen right now. So if I'm to console this right now, let me console it so that you guys can see the details. So as a console log, and as you can see, we have the details of each plant. So I'm going to get rid of this console right now, and let's start building the UI. So let me bring up the emulator. We are going to start the save area widget. We give it a flex of 1, so it's going to take the full width and the full height. Then we are going to give it a background color of white. So background color colors.white, and that's all for the style for the save area component. So we'll start working on the header. So I'm going to add a view component. I'm going to give it a style of header. I'm going to create a style very soon. So say style dot header. So right now I'm going to create a style. So we'll say style, say const style. It's going to be style sheet. So I want to import the style sheet dot create. Right now I'm going to create the header. That is the header style. Let me navigate to detail screen again. And for the header style, we are going to give it a padding horizontal of 20 pixels. So say padding horizontal 20. You give it a margin top of 20 pixels. Also a flex direction of row, and a justify content or space between. So that's all for the header style. So right now we're going to add these icons inside the header. So I want to add 2 icons. So I'll say icon, and let's import the icon correctly. So material icons, and the name of the icon is going to be name, not navigate, arrow back. So I'll say arrow dash back. Then we are going to give the icon a size of 28 pixels. And let's save and see. So this is the icon over here. So we want to be able to navigate back to the home screen once the user press on the icon. So to do that, we are going to make use of the onPress props, and we are going to make use of the navigation to navigate back to the home page. So to do that, we'll say, so add a function. I'll say navigation dot go back. So this is going to navigate back to the home screen once you click on it. So I'm going to save, and I'm going to try this out. If I click on it, as you can see, it can take us back to the home screen. So right now I'm going to duplicate this icon, and I'm going to change this to shopping cart, I think. So say shopping dash cart, and also we are going to get rid of this onPress. And right now we have the icon. So that's all for the header. So the next step, we are going to add the plant image. So to do that, we are going to add a view, and I'm going to give it a style of image container. Say style dot image container, and right now we are going to add the style. So we'll say image container, and we are going to give it a flex of 0.45. So it's going to take 45% of the remaining height of the screen. Then we'll give it a margin top of 20 pixels, justify content of center, and align items of center. So that's all for the style. So right now I'm going to add the image component itself. So inside the view, we are going to add an image component. Then we are going to give it a source, which is going to be from the plant object, and we'll give it the image. I'm going to save, and right now we have the image. We are going to style it. Say style. We'll give it a resize mode of contain and a flex of 1. I'll hit save, and right now we have the image. The next step, we're going to add this section to it. So we are going to add a view, and we are going to give it a background color of light, and also we add the border radius so that we're able to give this curve shape. Below this view, the image view, we are going to add a view, and we are going to give it a style of details container. So say style details container. I'm going to add a style right now. So we are going to give it a flex of 0.55. So the flex 0.55. We give the background color of light. Say colors dot light. Then bring up the emulator. We're going to give it a margin horizontal of 7 pixels. A margin bottom of 7 pixels also, so that we're able to get some space between the safe area component. So below it, you are going to give it a border radius of 20 pixels, a margin top of 30 pixels, and a padding top of 30 pixels. And that's all for this details container. So as you can see, we have the curve shape and we have some space between the safe area components. So the next step, we're going to add this best choice text right now. So to add the text inside the details container, we are going to add a view. So this view is going to hold this text, and also is going to hold this dash. So this line is actually a view. So it's going to hold this line, and also it's going to hold this text. And we are going to style the view. So give it a style. We'll give it a margin left of 20 pixels, a flex direction of row, and we are going to give it an align items of flex end. So it's align item flex end. So right now we are going to add the view, that is the line. So add a view, and we're going to give it a style of line. So say style. So style dot line. Over here we are going to add a style of line. We are going to give it a width of 25 pixels, height of 2 pixels height, and we give it a background color of black of dark. We say colors dot dark. Let's save. So right now we have the line. So the next step, we're going to add a margin bottom of 5 pixels. So say margin bottom 5 pixels and margin right of 3 pixels. And that's all for the style of the line. So right now we are going to add the text component, and we are going to add the text of best choice. So best choice. Then we are going to style the text right now. So give it a style. We'll give it a font size of 18 pixels and a font weight of bold. So it's a font weight and give it bold. And that's all for the text. So the next step, we are going to add the name of the plant. So to add the text, we are going to add a view. This view is going to hold the plant name and this price tag over here. So add a view, and we are going to actually style the view right now. So we are going to add a style. We'll say style. We'll give the margin left of 20 pixels, a margin top of 20 pixels also. Then we are going to give it a flex direction of row, a justify content of space between, and align items of center. So align items, and that's all for the view. So the next step, I'm going to add the text component. Then we'll add the name of the plant. So add a text component and get the name from the plant dot name, and that's the name over here. Then we are going to style the text right now. We'll get a font size of 22 pixels, a font weight of bold, and that's all for the style. So right now we are going to add the tag, that is the price tag. So below the text component, we are going to add a view. So this view is going to be for these price tags over here. So we are going to add a style. So I'm going to give it a style of price tag. So say style price tag, and right now I want to add the style. This should be price tag, not price. So I'll copy this, I'll paste it over here. I'll start styling it. We'll give the background color of colors.green, a width of 80 pixels, height of 40 pixels. Let's save. So right now we have the view. So the next step, we are going to add the round shape over here. So this round shape right here. To do that, we are going to add the border top left radius. We'll say border top left radius. We'll give 25 pixels, and also add a border top bottom radius. So I'm going to duplicate this and I'll change this to bottom. So this is going to add the radius at the bottom of the view over here. So if I save right now, as you can see, we have the radius right here. So the last property we are going to give this style is going to be the justify content, and we are going to center it. So that's all for the style. Right now we are going to add a price inside the view. So over here we are going to add a text component, and we give it the price of the plant. So we'll say plant.price. Hit save, and we are going to add the $sign right now. So we'll start styling the text. We are going to give it a style of margin left. We'll give 15 pixels. So say margin left 15 pixels. We'll give the color of white, a font weight of bold, and a font size of 16 pixels. Font size 16 pixels, and hit save, and we are done with the tag. So let's look at the UI. The next step, I'm going to add this about text, then we'll add the details of the plant. So to add the about text, we are going to add a view. This view is going to hold both the about text, the details of the plant, these buttons, and this buy button right here. So below this view, we are going to add the view, and we are going to style the view. So we'll give it a style. We'll give the padding horizontal of 20 pixels and a margin top of 10 pixels. And right now we are going to add the text. So to add the text, we'll add the text component and give it a text of about. So we have the about over here. So I want to style the about right now. We'll give the font size of 20 pixels, font weight of bold, font weight, and that's all. So right now we are done with about text. So the next step, we are going to add the details text. So over here we are going to add a text component, and we are going to get the details, that is the about of the plant. So say plant.about. Over here we have the plant, the details of the plant. So we are going to style the text right now. So we'll give the color of gray. We'll give the font size of 16 pixels, line height of 22 pixels, and a margin top of 10 pixels. Margin top. I'll hit save and navigate back to details screen. So right now we have the details of the plant. So the next step, we are going to add this button, the total item in the cart, and this buy button right here. So to do that, below the text component, we are going to add a view. So the view is going to hold a view, which is going to hold this minus button, this plus button, and then we add this buy button. So we'll add a view, and we are going to style the view. So we are going to give it a margin top of 20 pixels, flex direction of row, and it's justify content or space between. So justify content and give it space between. And right now we are going to add a view that is going to hold these buttons and the total item in the cart. So inside this view, we are going to add another view, and also we are going to style this view. We are going to give this view a flex direction of row also, and align items of center. And right now we are going to start adding the buttons. So I'm going to add a view again for the buttons, and inside this view you are going to give it a style of border button. So say style border btn, and inside the border btn we'll add a text component for the minus sign. So add the minus sign, and also we are going to add a style to the text component. So say style dot border btn text. So I'll hit save, and right now I'm going to start adding the style. So we are going to create the style right now. So first add the border btn. So say border btn. We'll give it a border color of gray, then a border width of 1 pixels, border radius of 5. So say border radius 5 pixels. Let's save. So this is the button over here. So the next step, we are going to give it a height of 40 pixels, a width of 60 pixels. So we are going to give it a justify content of center and align items of center. So justify content center, align items center, and that's all for the border btn style. So right now I'm going to style the button text itself. So we'll say border btn text, and we're going to give it a font weight of bold, then we'll give it a font size of 28 pixels. So that's all for the button style. Right now I'm going to duplicate the button. So I'll duplicate this, and I'm going to change this to the plus sign, and in between the button I'm going to add a text component for the total item, and I'm just going to give it 1, and also I'm going to style the text component. So we'll give it a style. We're going to give it a font size of 20 pixels, a margin horizontal of 10 pixels, and a font weight of bold. And that's all for the button and the total number of the item. So right now we are going to create the buy button. So outside this view, we are going to add a view for the button. So say view, and we are going to give it a style of buy btn. So say style buy btn. We are going to add a text component. Say text, and we give it a text of buy. Then we are going to style the text. So we give it a color of colors dot white, and we give it a font size of 18 pixels and a font weight of bold. Then right now I'm going to add the buy button style. We are going to give it a width of 150 pixels, a height of 50 pixels, a background color of green. So say colors dot green. And right now this is the button over here. So the next step, we are going to center the buy text. So to center the text, we'll give it a justify content of center and align items of center also. Right now we've centered the text. So the next step, I want to add a border radius to the button. So say border radius, and we'll give it 30 pixels. And right now we have the buy button. So actually we have a little margin below these buttons. So let's fix that right now. So let's see, I think we made a mistake somewhere. So I think this should be 10, not 20. So right now we have enough margin below the button. So I think that's all for the details screen. So let me navigate back to the home screen. As you can see, we have the plant image changed and also the plant name changed. So I think that's all for the video. If you find the video helpful, please like and share. And also if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Turn on post notifications so I notify anytime I upload a new video. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.